大家好，我叫季改轩，我今天要学习汉语的有和在的区别。Let's go! Welcome to Real Chinese. Today we're going to be learning the differences between 在 and 有 to show repetition in Chinese language. Let's go! Zai and you are both adverbs and they can be translated to English as again. So they show repetition of an action. But the difference between two of them is that one indicates a repetition of an action in the past, while the other one indicates a repetition of an action in the future. So this is John. He likes to eat apples. He can eat apple every day. For example, so how do we say that John ate an apple like yesterday and he still ate an apple this morning? So this is how we're going to say it in Chinese. John 昨天吃了一个苹果，在今天早上又吃了一个。Which means John ate an apple yesterday. He ate one again this morning. So we know that John likes to eat apples. So we can assume that he's thinking about eating apple again. So how do we say that in Chinese? We can say, John 昨天吃了一个苹果，他今天再吃一个。So which means John ate an apple yesterday, is going to eat one again today. Let's look at another scenario. Let's assume that I like to travel to my hometown every time. So I can say something like, I went home last weekend. This weekend, I went home again. So how do we say that in Chinese? 我上个周末回家了，这个周末又回家了。So let's assume that I'm going to go next week. So how will I say that? 我上个周末回家了，下个周末再回家。I went home last weekend. I'm going again next weekend. Have you been to China before? I have been to China before. I went there 2 years ago and I still went there like twice last year. So how do I say that in Chinese? 中国是一个好玩的地方。我前年去了，去年又去了2次。China is a good place to have fun. I went there 2 years ago. I went there again twice last year. So let's say I'm still planning to go there like this year summer. So how am I going to say that? 中国是一个好玩的地方。我去年去了，今年夏天再去一次。China is a good place to have fun. I went there last year. I'm going once again this summer. So apart from using some adverbial clauses of time to indicate that the action has taken place or not, just using the word 在 or 有 in a sentence already indicates that the repetition of that action has passed, or the repetition of that action is going to be in the future. So you can just simply say 他又穿了那件衣服。他又穿了那件衣服。Which means she wore that cloth again. She wore that cloth again. You can also say 他又喝了一杯红酒。他又喝了一杯红酒。She drank a cup of wine again. She drank a cup of wine again. Or you can say 老师又读了一遍。老师又读了一遍。Which means the teacher read it one more time. So how do we indicate that it's going to be a future repetition? So you can say 他想再穿那件衣服。他想再穿那件衣服。She wants to wear that cloth again. She wants to wear that cloth again. 他一会儿再喝2杯红酒。他一会儿再喝2杯红酒。She will drink 2 cups of wine again in a moment. She'll drink 2 cups of wine again in a moment. So let's say your teacher has been reading a story to you and you're interested in that story. What will you tell the teacher? Please read it one more time. So how do you say that in Chinese? 老师，请再读一遍。老师，请再读一遍。Teacher, please read it one more time. Teacher, please read it one more time. So there is a picture of a lady that just bought a new dress and she's showing it to her husband. So her husband has this to say. 你又买了一件，你没有2件这样的裙子吗？ You bought one again. Don't you have 2 dresses like this? Let's say you went to the supermarket, you bought a watermelon and you tasted it. Of course you want to buy more, right? So this is how to say it in Chinese. 这里的西瓜很好吃，我们再买几个吧。这里的西瓜很好吃，我们再买几个吧。这里 means this place. 西瓜 means watermelon. So 我们再 we again 买 to buy 几个 some or few. So ba like a suggestion. Okay. The watermelons here are very delicious. Let's buy more. Let's assume that you have a store and there's this particular customer that buys things on credit or that is always causing users in your store. What will you say when that person is approaching your store? You say, 她又来了, which means she's here again. But let's assume that the person is a very good customer. What will you tell that person when the person is leaving? You say, 你再来吧, 你再来吧, which means come again next time. So just like this, we can say something like 再吃, which means eat again. 再说, which means say again. 再看, which means read again. So let's look at some things to look out for when we are trying to use you or zai in a sentence. For you, there's always a grammatical particle l after the verb or at the end of the sentence to indicate that the action has been completed. For time words, you can have some words that can indicate past events like nouns like 昨天, which means yesterday, 去年, which means last year, 以前, which means before. Or you can have an adverb like 已经, which means already. For zai, you don't need le, but you can have some time words like 明天, which means tomorrow, 明年, which means next year, or 下个星期, which means next week. You can also have some adverbs like 想, which means want to or would like to, or 要, which also means want to. So let's try to use 又 and 在 in a complex sentence. For example, we can say 尼日利亚是一个好玩的地方。我前年去了，去年又去了2次。我打算下个月再去一趟。Which means Nigeria is a good place to have fun. I went there 2 years ago. I went there twice again last year. I'm planning to go there one more time next month. 你今天又穿了这件衣服。对，我非常喜欢这件衣服。我明天再穿。Let me see if you understand what I've been teaching. You can try this exercise. Applying 在 or 又 in these 2 sentences. Number 1. 你昨天 dash 买了一件衣服。Number 2. 你明天 dash 来吧。你明天 dash 来吧。So what's your answer? The correct answer is 你昨天又买了一件衣服。你明天再来吧。你明天再来吧。I'm sure you've learned the differences between 在 and 又 in Chinese language, which means again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. If you need a private class, just email. So see you in the next class. 再见.